Am I the only one who didn't know India's economy is still on a roll? It seems like every time you turn around there's another headline about India's economic growth. But what does that really mean for the country and its people? Let's break it down. India's economy has been making waves globally, and for good reason. The numbers are impressive, but they only tell part of the story. The real magic lies in the details. From bustling marketplaces to crowded urban centers, the energy is palpable. The country is buzzing with activity, and it's not just in the big cities. Even smaller towns are seeing a surge in economic activities. Let's dive into the numbers and see what's driving this incredible growth. In FY25, India's economy grew by 6.5%. While this is a slowdown from last year's 9.2%, it's still the fastest growing major economy in the world. The January to March quarter alone saw a whopping 7.4% growth. This kind of growth is not just a fluke, it's the result of strategic planning and execution. So, what's fueling this engine? First up, construction. Thanks to government-led initiatives, this sector grew by 10.8% in Q4 FY25 and 9.4% for the full year. The construction boom is visible everywhere, from new highways to skyscrapers. Next, agriculture. With favorable monsoon and policies, it clocked a steady 5.4% growth. This is crucial for a country where a significant portion of the population relies on agriculture for their livelihood. Manufacturing, though, slowed down to 4.8% from last year's 12.3%. While this might seem like a setback, it's important to note that the sector is still growing, albeit at a slower pace. Key drivers: infrastructure development, increased industrial output, and strong rural demand. Private consumption rose by 7.2%, and net exports turned positive, thanks to robust service exports. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Urban demand remains a concern, and private sector investment needs a boost. Global trade uncertainties also pose risks. Looking ahead, the IMF projects India will become the world's fourth largest economy by fiscal 2026, overtaking Japan. That's huge! This projection is not just a number, it signifies a shift in the global economic landscape. To wrap it up, FY25 GDP growth at 6.5%, Q4 growth at 7.4%, agriculture at 5.4%, construction at 10.8%, and manufacturing at 4.8%. These numbers are more than just statistics. They represent the hard work and resilience of millions of Indians. India's economic journey in FY25 showcases resilience and potential. With strategic reforms and sustained efforts, the nation is poised for continued growth in the coming years. The government's focus on infrastructure and rural development is paying off, and the benefits are trickling down to the grassroots level. The construction sector, in particular, has been a major driver of growth. New projects are being launched at a rapid pace, and existing ones are being completed faster than ever. This has created a ripple effect, boosting related industries like steel, cement, and real estate. Agriculture, too, has seen a transformation. Modern farming techniques, better irrigation facilities, and government support have all contributed to higher yields and better income for farmers. This, in turn, has led to increased spending in rural areas, further fueling economic growth. Manufacturing may have slowed down, but it's far from stagnant. The sector is undergoing a shift towards more sustainable and high-tech production methods. This transition, while initially slowing growth, is expected to make Indian manufacturing more competitive on the global stage in the long run. Infrastructure development has been another cornerstone of India's economic strategy. New highways, bridges, and public transport systems are not just improving connectivity, but also creating jobs and stimulating local economies. Private consumption has also seen a significant rise. More people are spending on goods and services, which is a positive sign for the economy. This increase in spending is partly due to higher disposable incomes and partly due to improved consumer confidence. Net exports turning positive is another feather in India's cap. The country has been able to capitalize on its strengths in service exports, particularly in IT and business process outsourcing. This has not only brought in foreign exchange but also created high-paying jobs. However, challenges remain. Urban demand is still a concern, and there is a need for more private sector investment. The global trade environment is also uncertain, which could impact India's export-driven sectors. The government is aware of these challenges and is taking steps to address them. Policies aimed at boosting urban demand and encouraging private investment are being rolled out. These measures are expected to provide a much-needed boost to the economy. On the global front, India is navigating trade uncertainties with a focus on diversifying its export markets. This strategy is aimed at reducing dependency on any single market and making the economy more resilient to global shocks. The IMF's projection that India will become the world's fourth largest economy by fiscal 2026 is a testament to the country's potential. This is not just about overtaking Japan, it's about India cementing its place as a global economic powerhouse. The journey to this milestone will require continued effort and strategic planning. But if the current trends are anything to go by, India is well on its way to achieving this goal. To wrap it up, FY25 GDP growth at 6.5%, Q4 growth at 7.4%, agriculture at 5.4%, construction at 10.8%, and manufacturing at 4.8%. These numbers are more than just statistics, they represent the hard work and resilience of millions of Indians. India's economic journey in FY25 showcases resilience and potential. With strategic reforms and sustained efforts, the nation is poised for continued growth in the coming years. The government's focus on infrastructure and rural development is paying off, and the benefits are trickling down to the grassroots level. The construction sector in particular has been a major driver of growth. New projects are being launched at a rapid pace, and existing ones are being completed faster than ever. This has created a ripple effect, boosting related industries like steel, cement, and real estate. The government's focus on infrastructure and rural development is paying off, and the benefits are trickling down to the grassroots level. The construction sector in particular has been a major driver of growth. New projects are being launched at a rapid pace, and existing ones are being completed faster than ever. This has created a ripple effect, boosting related industries like steel, cement, and real estate. The journey to this milestone will require continued effort and strategic planning. But if the current trends are anything to go by, India is well on its way to achieving this goal. Stay tuned, because India's economic story is far from over. Let's explore the key sectors driving India's economic growth in more detail. We'll start with the construction sector, which has seen significant government-led initiatives. The construction boom is not just a headline, it's a reality you can see and feel. New highways, bridges, and skyscrapers are sprouting up everywhere, transforming the urban and rural landscapes alike. This surge in construction has a ripple effect, boosting related industries like steel, cement, and real estate. It's creating jobs and driving local economies, making it one of the pillars of India's growth story. Next, we'll delve into the agricultural sector. Agriculture remains the backbone of India's economy, and in FY25, it has benefited immensely from favorable monsoon and supportive policies. Modern farming techniques and better irrigation facilities have led to higher yields. This sector clocked a steady 5.4% growth, which is crucial for a country where a significant portion of the population depends on farming for their livelihood. The increased income for farmers has led to higher spending in rural areas, further fueling economic growth. Finally, let's look at the manufacturing sector. While it slowed down to 4.8% from last year's 12.3%, it remains a crucial part of the economy. The sector is undergoing a significant transformation towards more sustainable and high-tech production methods. This transition, while initially slowing growth, is expected to make Indian manufacturing more competitive on the global stage in the long run. Key drivers include increased industrial output, infrastructure development, and strong rural demand. Together, these sectors paint a picture of a resilient and dynamic economy. The construction, agriculture, and manufacturing sectors are not just contributing to GDP, they are creating jobs, boosting incomes, and driving the nation's progress. With strategic reforms and sustained efforts, these sectors will continue to play a pivotal role in India's economic journey. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into these sectors and explore the stories behind the numbers. India's economic story is far from over. In this chapter, we'll take a closer look at the challenges facing India's economy. While the growth story is strong, it is not without its hurdles. Urban demand remains a concern. Despite the booming construction and thriving sectors, urban areas are grappling with issues like rising living costs and wage stagnation. These factors limit consumer spending and can slow down economic momentum. Private sector investment also needs a boost. Although government initiatives have led to significant progress, private investors are still cautious. Concerns over regulatory hurdles, policy uncertainties, and financial stability are holding back the full potential of private sector contributions. This gap in investment is a critical area that needs addressing for sustained economic growth. Furthermore, global trade uncertainties pose significant risks. The geopolitical landscape is ever-changing, and trade tensions between major economies can have ripple effects on India. Export-dependent sectors may face challenges due to fluctuating global demand, tariffs, and trade barriers. Navigating these obstacles requires strategic planning and robust policies. The government and private sector must work together to stimulate urban demand, encourage private investments, and mitigate global trade risks. Only then can India ensure that its economic boom is sustainable and inclusive. Stay with us as we explore potential solutions and strategies to overcome these challenges. The path ahead is complex, but with resilience and innovation, India can continue to thrive in the global economy. Looking ahead, we'll explore the projections for India's economy. The IMF projects that India will become the world's fourth largest economy by fiscal 2026, overtaking Japan. This isn't merely a numerical milestone, it's a significant shift in the global economic landscape. India's rise to the fourth largest economy spot will bring about transformative changes, both domestically and internationally. Domestically, this growth will create more opportunities for millions of Indians by boosting job creation, enhancing infrastructure, and improving living standards. It also means increased responsibilities and the need for sustainable development to ensure that growth benefits all sections of society. On the global stage, India's economic ascent will grant it greater influence in international trade and geopolitical affairs. As global supply chains evolve, India's role as a major player will become more pronounced, affecting everything from technology to manufacturing and services sectors worldwide. However, reaching this milestone will require addressing the obstacles we discussed earlier. Strategic reforms, robust policymaking, and a collaborative effort between the government and private sector are essential. Innovation and resilience will be key drivers in navigating future challenges and capitalizing on opportunities. Join us as we delve deeper into what this projected growth means for India and the world. The journey ahead is exciting, filled with potential and promise. Stay tuned to learn how India is preparing to step into its future as a global economic powerhouse. As we wrap up our exploration of India's economic outlook for FY25, let's summarize the key points. The projected GDP growth stands at an impressive 6.5%, with a notable Q4 growth rate of 7.4%. Agriculture is expected to grow by 5.4%, construction by a robust 0.8%, and manufacturing by 4.8%. These figures reflect a dynamic and evolving economy, driven by diverse sectors that contribute to India's overall growth. However, achieving and sustaining this momentum will require strategic reforms and sustained efforts. The government and private sector must work hand in hand to implement policies that foster innovation, improve infrastructure, and enhance the ease of doing business. Investment in education and skill development will be crucial to prepare the workforce for future challenges. Sustainable development practices will ensure that economic growth benefits all sections of society, addressing inequality and promoting social inclusion. By focusing on these strategic areas, India can continue its journey towards becoming a global economic powerhouse. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive into India's economic future. Stay tuned for more insights and updates on how India is shaping its path forward. Together, we can look forward to a future filled with potential and promise.